When you watch golf on TV, you often talk about the use of the ground and ground forces. You talk about a posting action. Well, in today's video, we're going to help you understand what muscles you should use so that you get a posting action that lets your hips rotate as opposed to a posting action where you lose your spine tilt. All right, all the time as we help people in here with the golf instruction, we see this motion where the hips extend, or what's called early extension, right, coming into the ball, and the spine tilt is lost, right? So as Nate is doing this, you see from the down the line perspective, that spine is straightening. And when that happens, it just makes it so much harder to hit the ball because you have to early release the wrist, you have to flex the wrist, and that changes your face angle relative to your path. Really, really inconsistent. But yet you can say, well, wait, I'm really driving into the ground. Well, you might be using the wrong muscle. We're going to have Nate describe what he feels and actually what muscles he's engaging so that you get a rotation where the hips clear and you maintain the tilt as opposed to blocking the rotation and just the early hip extension. You got to understand what muscles to use.
You want to create a setup, obviously, that's balanced and structured. Do the whole get up to the top with a nice takeaway. Now, instead, as we're in transition here, if we have our weight centered properly as we get into our left side, now my action through, okay, is more of a butt back, like the Tour Pros show us, versus an extension, changing our spine tilt. So butt back, you're basically just taking this hip and clearing it out of the way, much like if you're bowling, to have a nice smooth bowl down the lane to hit a strike, you're going to be allowing that upper body to clear. That same sensation we're needing here, this has to be back to the left. We can't be coming forward into the ball or else we have to extend, get into a good position. So from here now, we can rotate and clear this left side for a smooth delivery through that ball so that we can now access full extension as well into a balanced finish. Okay, so avoid the sensation of jumping with the quads. You're going to really feel it more in the glutes here, back here, getting back out of the way, helping that swing move through more effortlessly.
Let's look at this in a little more detail. So here's a very nice straight shot from Nate, and we'll look at the video from both perspectives here. All right, so really focusing on that lead leg. You know, there's a big lateral force, right? He shifted, and right here, okay, the posting. Let's pay really close attention to what's happening at this point, Nate, with your pelvis. So, like, where do you feel like you've caught that weight, and I mean, is this front side or back side?
So I'm definitely going to be feeling my left glute at this point, basically just getting out of the way with my throw motion. So allowing that to clear, and now the arms can unwind with plenty of room to go a little bit left for cut down the line or out to the right. So once we start to understand, where, from setup to a good transitional point, and then getting the right glute motion assisting our rotation through, you'll have a much better time getting better numbers flowing through impact.
So we can see the tilt that's maintained from the down the line perspective, right? So if we look, as we now look at this tilt of the trunk here, as Nate has finished his backswing, it's the same, he transitions, it's the same. Now this is key, right? So as he's using the right muscles to help allow that pelvis to rotate to the left, it supports the spine so that, lo and behold, it's the same angle, right?
Yeah.
This is so imperative because what it allows us to do in the golf swing, when you look at this beautiful impact here, you can watch through these frames here on the face-on view. As you look at the response of the hands and the wrist, you can see there's no flipping. It's just a nice, fluid, gradual motion of how the wrists go through that impact sequence. You can only do that when you maintain the posture. You can only maintain the posture when the pelvis rotates, and you're only going to do that when you use your glutes. So it's cause and effect.
Spot on.
As we saw in Nate's swing, there is a lot of ground force action happening on that lead leg, but he's trained himself to be using the right muscles, right? The muscles, your glutes, are the muscles that you need to use that support the weight and rotate, as opposed to support the weight and jump up, all right? So posting, do the posting, feel it on your backside, not the front side. Now, when you send us your videos for our online swing review program, we can look at how the angles are maintained and help you understand if you're using the right set of muscles mechanically to make sure that you're maintaining the right tilts. When you do all that, impact is a lot easier. We've got a 14-day free trial. Click the link in the description below or in the iCard above.